Good afternoon. I don't have anybody in here yet. This could be a very short live, but good afternoon. Thank you for anybody who's watching this now. No, it's not my normal time on here, but I had to do some rearranging. I have Matt home from work today. He took off because Wyatt was out of school. So I spend some time with Matt and everybody. A great Easter. I wonder how everyone's doing. Go ahead and you can put a comment down below and just whatever. My children are excited to have their dad home. Sitting at a minute and still nobody in here. So, how was everybody's Easter? Go ahead and leave a comment. Let us know. I only have a viewer. I don't know who yet. Bruce, you answered. How are you doing? I've been kind of unplugged from YouTube for the past couple weeks. Just, I don't know, kind of making do. But... And Kate, good morning. I'm glad your Easter was awesome too. We spent a lot of time in other people's houses. we live so far out that none of our family members come to our house. Go get some bees. I need to get my little bee trap thing done. I have it, and I even forgot to measure it. But I've been so unplugged from everything the last few weeks. Like last week, Haston had appointments 3 days in a row, and then like I'm not going to do a live on Thursday morning, so it's all right. I wish we'd have stayed home, honestly. Which, I mean, it's fine. The kids get to hunt Easter eggs and spend time with family, but I'd rather been at home. I'm kind of a homebody a lot of times. I need to get my stuff together to build a hive soon, I hope. Oh, that's my child. I had the windows open. Matt took boys outside, and I can hear Haston. I thought it was the puppy. We had a good day, I think, yesterday. And then my family's was Saturday, because none of us go to the same church. But, and the kids got to hunt Easter eggs at church too. It was pretty great. I got them some little felt activity, and they really liked it. Yeah. So, spring happenings. It is Monday. It is noon, which is later than I usually do a live. And it is, pretty textbook basic day, not a lot going on. But I'm going to talk about garden. I got my 16-foot tomato bed done. You probably miss it. I think I'm going to miss it. Really, this year, the Easter Bunny was very reserved. The boys got mostly candy. Haston got a stuffed animal, which is a really cute little Appaloosa horse. But they got mostly candy and some bubbles. So So when you got a 9-year-old, he's right on that cusp of age, and you're like, I don't know what to do for you. So, and we're not quite sure if he still believes or not. Who knows? Overall, it's not too bad. I still like the surprise. Matt has a big family. I don't necessarily, I guess. I have one sibling, and Matt has 3. So when we get together with his family, there's 13 grandkids if they all get around. And on mine, there's just 4. But I was going to talk about the garden. Matt, he did, we ran to Lowe's. I bought 48 bags of dirt. And it took 32 to fill my 16 by 4 bed. And I've got tomatoes to fill one side of it. I gave quite a few tomato plants away. Didn't start any this year. I tried, and nothing really worked great for me. But I found a tomato that I have not seen before, and I was really excited to get it. It is a Sun Gold cherry tomato. Let's see if I can find it. I did take a picture of the tag, I'm pretty sure. That's my kind of Easter egg hunting right there, guys. Maybe not Budweiser. Really, it's not Budweiser. And I don't drink anymore. Let's see. Yeah, organic Sun Gold cherry tomato. I don't know if you guys can see it good. The Peace Farm Organics. They're out of like Van Buren, Arkansas. It's pretty cool. It's fairly local. I like trying to buy from as local as possible. And I got 2 redbud trees for $13 a piece. Planted them. Didn't film any of it, of course, because it's just how I am, I guess. Well, that sucks. I don't know. I do miss working a lot, like an actual job, not self-employed stuff. But I do not like working on holidays. My family gives me crap. Whenever I had work on holidays, I'm like, no, it don't matter. It's just a day. Which Easter's not just a day, but well, the idea behind Easter is not just a day. Yeah. Bruce is fixing to get into his busy season, aren't you? Getting bees. I have been watching your videos. I just haven't commented, mostly because I've just been kind of busy. Like, I'll take and listen to it, like between appointments and things. And I just haven't commented because usually we can get all the way through it. Been trying though. Been trying. Yeah. Kind of a lazy day today, I guess. I had to go to Shakota, which is a couple towns over, get goat feed. And I bought a 15-gallon water trough. It's only about 80 for the bottle babies. So, is there anybody who's exciting for spring? Like, spring is happening in Oklahoma. There's flowers everywhere. I got to hang out with Chrissy at Paragon Ridge Ranch. She come down here, spent most of the day with us. I have the boys, both my boys, and she brought her boys down here. Went fishing, didn't catch much. There was a lot of water in the creek. And we picked wild violets for her to make violet jam. And hopefully that turns out pretty good for her. I'm not real big on floral flavors, but it was really neat to just get to pick them. And I didn't ever think about eating. I mean, I knew you could eat the flowers. On spring break, they're all out doing day trips. It's a nice day. What's the temperature here? 70 degrees here and cloudy, so it's awesome. Today would be the perfect day to be on horses all day if my old butt could handle it, but it can't anymore. It is pretty hard to try and keep up with everybody. I just, like, I've kind of stepped back from a lot of stuff. Like I stressed myself out trying to keep up with everybody's watching everything, making sure I try to comment on as much as possible. And I was getting overwhelmed. So I've kind of taken a little hiatus. I'm watching regular TV. I don't watch much TV anyway. But trying to just bring things back down, because I'm fixing to start some big busy stuff out and about on our property. I got to get my heifer back up and work with her a lot. We're about to have our first colt born on the property. Ours, not the first colt born on the property, obviously, but our first colt to be born on the property. So it's going to be pretty exciting. My last goat kidded. I have a picture. She had triplets. That was her. That was my my picture on here. And I got it all filmed, which I put on there. Let me find a picture. Here's one of them. One of the little boys. He's stinking cute. He's like a little dun. And I don't know. Today's just not. Here's the little girl. I did bring her in the house, though. And I'm probably going to go ahead and offer her for sale, like, soon, this week. See, that's me. I usually do, but I've accumulated a lot of people that I enjoy watching. And sometimes I feel like a lot of their stuff, which I'm sure it's the same way for me, or with my channel, a lot of stuff repeats itself a lot. So then it kind of gets daunting to watch. I really enjoy watching gardening and goat channels and things that are different. But it's like watching Bruce. I like watching lots of bee channels because I don't have bees. And even if I do get, like, when I get bees, it's not a if, it's a when. When I get bees, I'm not going to probably film up a bunch, let people who know more teach. I'm not a teacher. I'm an entertainer. New babies are so fun. Now, I got a funny story. Matt almost killed my gander, my male goose, the other day, because when the babies were a week old, the two that are still with mom, I turned them out. I turned mom and them out. Inadvertently, Wyatt left the gate open and let them out with the other goats. Okay, well, I was mad, but couldn't catch mama because she's a meat goat, and we're not, I don't know. I didn't try to make her friendly. I wanted her to defend herself. So my gander grabbed that little silver buck and shook him and scared Matt. Matt was ready to kill him. We about had goose for dinner that day. Would have been bad. Who knows? My female goose is sitting on about 9 eggs, I think. 9 or 10 eggs. Hopefully she hatches some babies out. I think someone told me they take 35 days. I don't know. I'll write it down and find out. I was pretty upset, but then you get thinking about it. The hen, or the female goose, I think they're just called geese or goose. I don't know. Her nest is in the hay bale, so I'm sure that little kid went up there, and the gander's really protective. Like, I'm the only person he bites because I'm the only one that messes with the goose. But so I'm sure he got upset, and so he grabbed the kid and shook it. But I mean, it is what it is. It's not a big deal. Allergies are kicking my butt here lately. I don't think he could have really hurt it a whole heck of a lot, but I'm ready for the baby geese to be hatching because I've got some people that are interested in baby geese. I have watched a few of his, mostly because Chrissy at Paragon Ridge, she's like, hey, you need to watch this one. And so I've just recently got to Goldshaw Farms. And I know I was watching Roots and Refuge, and she mentions him. I think she got eggs from him, duck eggs maybe, to hatch. It's pretty neat. I know he's got a lot of stuff. Oh, and the only thing I can, it sticks out in my mind, she said that he doesn't grow peppers because peppers take such a long warm season, and because he's so far up north, he does not have that long warm season, so he don't try to grow peppers. Makes sense. I understand. If I lived in North Dakota, Montana, somewhere in there, I probably wouldn't grow peppers either, because you got to have, lots of days, and their growing season is considerably shorter than ours. I'm going to Google it. How long does it take for a goose to hatch? Do-do-do-do-do. 35 days. Woohoo! So what I read was right. The actual period of incubation of goose eggs varies slightly with the breed. Some eggs from the lighter breeds may start pipping at 28 days, while eggs from the larger breeds may take 35 days. It may take up to 3 days for hatching to be completed. Pretty cool. I love Jess. Jess is one of my favorites, and I watch her a lot. I've learned a lot from her for garden stuff. And she's a great person. She inspires me. Another one that I really like watching is got another bee call. A he call? Was it like hee haw? I had to. I'm sorry. I like watching Sandy Brock. She has sheep, and hers is purely for the entertainment factor. I don't know. I have goats. I would love to have some sheep again, just not yet. Yeehaw. I had to. Our neighbor has, we have a stray miniature mule, and it cracks me up when he brays. It doesn't happen very often, but he can crawl under the 12-foot portable panels, crawl plumb under them, and they're only about that far off the ground, not even a foot. I've watched him crawl under one. Yes, Sandy is fun. I enjoy her she's honest, and she's unapologetically herself, and I really enjoy that in a video. That's how that's how Bruce is. That's why I like watching his stuff, because he's unapologetically himself. I don't think you put on airs for anybody, and that's what I try to do myself. So I planted onions about 2 weeks after everybody else in my area did, but that's okay. They've already got green on them. I don't know. Y'all are up north. Y'all in the Northeast. I don't know anything about growing seasons up there. I know it's considerably shorter, but our zone is 7A, and where I'm at, I sit up high. Storms are hit or miss with us because they kind of roll around us from where we sit at. But so I got my onions, my cabbage, and my broccoli. Fun fact, you can plant onions with your cabbage or broccoli, or both, because they're a companion plant. And that's what I did this year. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I get to share something with my children this year that I haven't got to do before, and I want to do it very soon, one of these afternoons, probably this week. We're going to go pick wild onions, dig wild onions up. It's kind of it's a Native American thing. Wild onions are great. You can use them like green onions, chop them up, and freeze them. I do freeze them a lot. And we're going to do that. I want to do it like picking the violets with Chrissy and things like that. It was really great to get to do it, and something pretty neat. See, I like wild onions too. I add them in with stuff to soups and all kinds of stuff. You cook with them. Literally anything you could put onions in, use them wild onions for. See, I've never grown broccoli successfully either, and I still have like volunteer broccoli that pops up in my flower box in the front yard, and it just, as soon as it comes up, it flowers. So there's nothing you can do with it. Y'all get probably a lot more moisture than we do. We sit up high, and down below us there's a river that way to the east. There's a creek to the south, and there's a creek to the north and a creek to the south. I was getting my directions. But I didn't know that. I've never dug them up in the fall. We've only ever done it in the spring before they flower. And I've dug them up when they flower, and they still taste fine. I don't know why. There's people who get kind of weird about that stuff. I like trying to share as much of like our culture, because where we're at, we're less populated, but we have a lot of Native Americans, and being Native American is kind of important for me, I feel, to share stuff that we do. And then every once in a while I get taught something by Bruce. I'm gonna write it down. And you're liable to have a message pop up from my cat because she was standing on it. There you go. It's pretty neat. You also said you had those white strawberries that you're like up there around y'all. I did buy, Chrissy brought me a package of them down, and Matt picked me up a package at Tractor Supply. So I put all those in my strawberry tower, which I am so stinking excited about this thing. And I really, fingers crossed, it works great, because I mean, less slugs and like pests getting on it, and I'm so excited. But right after here's a funny. That's like perfect boiling onions, like for like crawfish and stuff. It's pearl onions are like this big around. They're not very big. They're great. I like how wild onions taste. They're real pungent, and I enjoy that. Yeah. But I keep saying but. I'm pretty excited about this now, onions. I'm going to probably pick them this fall. I need to mark them. Take like T-posts or something. We've got onions on our property. Take a T-post and drive it where they're at, so I know I can dig right there. I've never put them in a container, though. I didn't ever think about that. I do have a weeping pot. I like my onions to taste like onions, except for, and somebody's going to tell me that this is bad. I like sweet onions for like fried onion rings, like battered onions. I like really, really sweet onions. That's weird, I know. And then I put garlic on them when I batter them. I have to make, there was a restaurant in Gore, which is another town over, and they did onion petals. They'd slice them into like little pieces. Well, I kind of did a play on that, and I would cut my onion in half so that it had like little rings. And then I used a mandolin slicer, so they're super thin, and toss them in flour with like onion powder and garlic. Onion powder does not taste like onions. You buy it at the store. And a little bit of cayenne. I have my own thing. Toss them together and fry them like that. Those are to die for. They are amazing. And everybody thinks I'm weird, but they're so good. I'd get a burger and get those. But our little burger joint here in town, like at Weber's Falls, there's 2 restaurants, I guess. Use Vidalia's for it. I like Vidalia's, and literally, like, onion rings is about the only thing I use onions for. But I use a lot of red onions because they taste like onions for like soups, and I put it in chili and stews. Y'all's gonna make me want to cook a pot of stew, and it's gonna be like 75 degrees today here. Matt will be like, "Why are we eating stew?" No, he never complains. I got lucky. I don't know what he's doing. He's making noise outside. Probably fixing my dryer vent. We broke my dryer vent, like the outside part. I had to buy a new one. But in our defense, like, it was already falling apart. We've been in this house since 2016, and the things we've had to fix, it just doesn't make sense anymore. Or 2017. I don't ever make macaroni salad. Matt's sister-in-law makes it, and I think all she does is cook macaroni and put Italian dressing on it, honestly. But, I mean, it would probably be really good on it, especially if they were really thin strings. I'm going to have to try frying, like batter and frying them. But red onions, the ones I get, aren't as moist. I hate that word. They're not as, they don't have as much liquid in them. So they don't cry. They don't weep as much whenever you cut them. They don't cry. They make me cry, though. Hello, LG Homestead. How are you? We got that little cute goat on there. How are y'all doing? We're just talking about random things right now. I always make a list, some notes that like talking points, and I never stick to it. I have no idea. How was your Easter? Did you have a good Easter? We did. I think most of us did, except for Bruce. He had to work. This kind of sucks. I'm sorry. I'll save you an egg. I got 2 boys, and so we hunted Easter eggs all weekend pretty much. Let's see. Put this back up. Outside. Yes. We were outside almost the entire day, minus the hour and a half we were in church. And it's pretty great. Jesus is awesome, for sure. And we are duly blessed here for a number of reasons, but one of which is he died for our sins. And Easter's great. I love Easter for the fact that I kind of feel rejuvenated. See you later, Bruce. Have fun with your bees. Don't get stung. If you do, make sure you get a video of it. We were talking a little bit about plants. If you want to chime in on your garden happenings. I don't know where y'all are located at, per se, but not even per se. I don't know where you're located at. Kate is in New Jersey, and I did have a good bee story, but now Bruce is gone. I was hanging clothes out on the line, and there was these 2 big carpenter bees, and they were fighting like crazy, sweat all over around my head and everything. Northeast Oklahoma. So you're the same climate as me. Awesome. I am in Weber's Falls, which is like East Central Oklahoma. I live right off of I-40. And I am so excited for this warm weather because I've got tomatoes and peppers I already got cabbage and broccoli in the garden. And guys, I am ready for squash and okra. Those are my two favorite things. Squash and okra. And I've got some neat okra. I'll have to show y'all. It's like Star of David okra, but on steroids because it's literally like this big around. It is so neat. Somebody gave me some seeds for it. I don't even have a picture of it. I just have to show you. I'll show y'all whenever we get that far. And I got my strawberry planter planted. So hopefully we'll have some strawberries soon. Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, whoa, that's huge. I've never seen okra get that big. They say just to do it like you do squash. Just slice it thin and fry it like squash, like yellow squash. Pretty cool. I was pretty excited for it. I'm gonna try it. I've got a few like if anybody needs okra seeds, I have a ton of Clemson spineless seeds I saved from last year because it was so prolific. I was able to save a bunch. And I have like what is it? I have a red variety, but I don't remember what it's called. So, do y'all have your garden? Do y'all garden a bunch? I don't remember. LG Homestead. Sorry, my face is kind of itchy today. I got the windows open. I got one hair that keeps blowing across my face, and it's bothering me. But do y'all have anything going in your garden? Matt just finished last week my 16-foot bed. So I'm going to have half of it is tomatoes, 16 feet of tomatoes. I think the other half I'm probably going to do bush beans. I'm also planning on doing bush beans in those towers. Let's see, do I have a picture of it on here? I don't think I do. I don't. I did a video. It sucks being a beginner sometimes. My biggest suggestion, especially being in Northeast Oklahoma, and I'm pretty sure Kate would agree with me, is Jess at Roots and Refuge Farm. She is excellent, and she is so smart with garden stuff. Like, I've learned so much from her. I've learned a lot about goats too from her, and I've had goats for a long time. But there's you an idea to learn a lot about gardening. I hate that for you. I really do. Matt, I'm pretty sure he likes me to garden because it keeps me from pinching people's head off. It gives me a reason it's like a de-stress thing. I couldn't imagine not having access to the outside and the garden and everything. And see, what's your friend? Whispering Willow Farm, isn't that what it is? It's in Arkansas too. And VW Family Farm. Both of those, I think, do a market garden type thing. Got a question, Kate? I think me and Kate had a conversation about that a few live chats ago. She said she couldn't do it because of her back. She's not going to be able to. But if I lived closer, Kate, I would help you out because I saw some raised beds that were on legs, so then you don't have to bend over. It would be so good for you, especially because then it's up. You don't have to bend down, be down on your knees, have any issues getting up and down. And Auntie Ann, she's a moderator for me. She's not in here right now, but she usually has she usually has she has some raised beds built similar to mine, so they're taller, and it gives her another option. So she gets to garden. And I know she enjoys it. I enjoy it. I've watched some of her stuff. I actually use her biscuit recipe because I was looking for an easy biscuit recipe, and hers was the one that popped up, or not necessarily easy, but a really good one with butter in it, because butter is king around here. Matt is actually Cherokee, and I am Choctaw. Well, he's Cherokee and Chickasaw, and I'm Choctaw. And so, like, where we live at is kind of smack dab in between the two. If you need any seeds, look, I even got some more seeds the other day. I got flowers. I'm really excited about this one. Marigold seeds. I've never started flowers. And I got some really pretty, they're called coxcomb. And it's this big foldy flower. I really am excited about it, but I don't know if I'm going to do it any justice. But I have watched her a little bit for the biscuits and her cooking stuff. I didn't even realize that she had all this other stuff going on. I just thought, like, all the ones that were popping up on mine was her cooking videos. So I thought she was just a cooking person for a long time. I need to get back to watching her. I took my little hiatus, and I need to get back to all of that, getting to enjoy everybody else's goings on too. I haven't even really been filming that much. I didn't film anything all weekend, and it's pretty great. It was a good break. Well, I did film something, but I'm not probably going to use it. I moved my milk stand from where it is in the barn, like it was against that solid wall. I moved it, like where you walk in the door, I moved it to the right there by that window to try, because the other goats were jumping up in that one window by where they were at, where the milk stand was, pestering Maudie. And I was tired of the one goat, jumping up there so much. But who knows? Maudie isn't a fan of where it's at. And Matt built me one of the 3 doors I need. We should get the big door on the outside done next, and then the door on the chicken coop, the outside of the chicken coop. I'm really excited about all of it, honestly. It's really, the fact that it is all coming together, it's not my timing for sure, because I have tried to rush things for so long, and you know, God knows best. It's a God thing. It's how I ended up with the milk goat, that almost the exact milk goat that I had been praying about. Or a funny, I don't know if I told you guys or not. You know, I have border collies, and I raise a litter or 2 every year, which I'm not raising any this year or probably next year. I haven't decided yet. I do have Sis. I've just decided to retire and spay Mia. And I have Sis and Gus, which they're unrelated, so they could breed. But anyway, a full brother to Sis, and the litter after her. I had one pup, and he was my baby. Like, I picked him out of all of them. And so I was like, he has to have a super special home. Well, he got a great home, and it happens to be a neighbor, and he's an older gentleman. Part of his property butts up to us, and he lets Wyatt fish in all of his ponds, which is amazing because that kid loves to fish. But anyway, Matt called the dog Red. I called him 2 Spots because he had a red spot on his head and a white spot on his back. So I called him 2 Spots. And he saw me at the grocery store the other day, and he said, "Hey girl, how you doing?" I said, "I'm good. How are you doing, Mr. Strickland?" And he's like, We're good. We're good over here." He said, "You happen to have any of them puppies left?" "Yeah, I have one." He said, "Well, what do you want for it?" I said, "Nothing. I will give you this puppy." And he said, no, I gotta pay you. I was like, my kid gets to roam your property like it's ours and fish in all your ponds. I mean, I'm fine with giving you this dog. And he said, you know what? That is such a blessing. That is such a God thing right there. Yeah, it is. Because in the back of my mind, I really wanted to give this puppy to them. And I told Matt whenever they were born, they were about 2 weeks old. And I was like, I really want to give this dog to Mr. and Mrs. Strickland. But they had a dog, so I don't know. I didn't think they would want it. Well, it turns out their dog accidentally died. They had a pasture accident. He was moving hay rings, and whenever the hay ring flipped back over, the dog happened to try and run underneath it, and it hurt her, and she had to be put down. And he got a puppy. I know it wasn't what he was bargaining for, I don't think, but it was in the back of my mind. It sounds really great because it's like I totally knew this dog was meant for them, but I didn't want to step on any toes and be like, hey, I'm going to give you a dog or anything like that. Instead, it worked out in its own way. And I mean, that's the first thing out of Mr. Strickland's mouth about the dog was like, that's a God thing. Yes, it is. He shows you little bits. Yeah, that's the way I see it. We've got, it's like the tin on our barn. We priced tin, which is fine. I mean, we could have paid for it. It wasn't a big deal to put on the little barn. Well, it just so happens the neighbors, like our direct neighbor right here, their house is on the same road as ours. Chuck was clearing out a shed, and he had all this tin he didn't need, and offered it to us. And it just worked out. It was things that we didn't need. God is good. He is definitely good, and he takes care of us in his own way. You still got to do the work for it, but he'll provide it if you want to put your half out there. I think it works out great. And the barn's been a blessing because it rains. My milk stand is inside there. My baby goats get to use the chicken coop part of it for their house for now. And I mean, I am a firm believer in the fact that God doesn't just give you what you can handle. He will give you more than you can handle. So you have to look to him. And that's something that I think is kind of hard for a lot of people to wrap their head around, that he will test the heck out of you just to see how strong your faith is. And he does it to me a lot because I slip and fall a lot. But he won't abandon you, but he'll dang sure make you think about it. Man, that was a good little trip there, wasn't it? I have mostly mixed breed goats. My goats I have one full-blood Lamacha goat that I just got this year, and 2 full-blood Boer baby goats that are commercial. But most of our goats are Boer Kiko cross, or there's a lot of Boer Kiko cross in our goats. I have one nanny that is actually, I guess you'd class her as a mini Nubian, but I have no documents or anything. And I have one that is her mother, which is supposed to be feigning goat, Nigerian dwarf, and Boer goat. But really, I think she's just all butthead. That's what her breed should be. I'm actually going to be getting rid of my small goats this year. I have 2 that are predominantly Kiko, but they're part pygmy goats, so they're small. It's a buck and a doe. And I've got 2 that are out of a previous buck that I had he was commercial Kiko. He just wasn't a very big buck. He wasn't even done growing yet. 3 of those. 1 from last year and 2 from the year before. And I'm going to probably get rid of all 4 of those females and the buck. If you know anybody who's wanting a small herd. And he is very fertile. He throws twins and triplets. So he had one doe has not been bred at all. And one doe had an infection and aborted early, like way, way early. So we didn't bother trying to breed her back. But now they're pretty healthy. I want to get a mostly boar goat herd, I think. We're going to eat them, most of them. We want to raise enough that if there's any 4-H kids that want to show goats, we can do kind of they raise and show the goat and then return it to us kind of thing. And but we want to get to something that's a bigger goat. We started with the pygmies because that's what we had available. That's what we got. Or the smaller goats. But to me, it makes a lot more sense to raise a 150-pound goat versus a 50 or 60-pound goat to butcher. It's just like with sheep and things. If you're going to eat them, you might as well feed the big one, not the little one. We're a family of 4, so we could go through a goat, I think, pretty easily. It's also why I wanted to get into the Lamacha goats. She's a grade Lamacha, and because she has one teat, she has a teat fault. But if we breed her to the boar buck, that kid's just going to be a meat kid anyway, unless it's if it's a nice looking doeling, who knows? But we made sure our buck everything's correct. He's 1-1 on his teats, and the little doeling we bought too, she's 1-1, and to kind of breed a little better quality into him. Got him as a bottle baby because it's a lot cheaper to raise your own than to buy one that somebody else raised. But we eventually want to be able to source goat meat also. It's just like with calves. We butchered our nose itches again. We butchered our bull calf because he got hurt a few months ago and it never got any better. And he was actually getting to where it was causing him a lot of issues getting around. His leg was. So we butchered him. And I have a 7 cubic foot freezer full of beef now. But aside from that, we want to get into maybe miniature cows because we would love to be able to do all of our butchering on site. And actually this year we are doing all of our butchering on site, calf included. He was butchered here too. It's just, and I didn't film it. That was, my nose itches, guys. Sorry. Okay. I didn't film any of it, and I'm planning on doing a video talking about it. But he was our bottle calf. He was a registered Angus calf, intended on raising, a small herd of commercial Angus cows, or raising a small herd with commercial Angus cows. And him getting hurt and all the problems I had with my little goats this year, it's really made me think about reworking things here. So I had a dream about small cows, zebu cows. They're like a miniature Brahma cow. We want to purchase some of them, and then having the issues, I just think I'm getting pointed in the right direction where I need to go. We're going to have bigger goats, smaller cows, and go with things that way. See how we do that way. You never know. You got to try it to see what's going to do good and what's not. It's just like gardening. Some things will do great in your soil. Some things won't. And you got to make choices that way. That's why I have one tomato variety I wanted to grow that I have seeds for, but I didn't, because I wanted to try a couple of new ones and see if those might be a little more prolific here than the other ones were. Who knows? But I mean, it's with anything, you'll never know exactly if anything's going to work or not unless you put out the effort and try it. I know a few things I'm not going to grow again or raise again, and some things I might, but hopefully the things that we're accumulating now are going to work for us pretty good. I over-explained, sorry. I mom-splained it. What kind of goats do y'all have? It looks like probably a Nigerian dwarf. Got an old folks home for goats. Our reason behind wanting to raise and eat goats is because they're small, and if ever we did not have like refrigeration, electricity, a goat would be easier to do than a beef would. So that's also why we want to get some smaller goats, or not smaller goats, smaller cows, because the zebus, they top out at like 600 to 700 pounds, and we'd be able to butcher that and put it up ourselves pretty easy. And I know, what's her name? Crystal at Blue Cactus Dairy Goats. She has Nigerian dwarfs. She raises registered Nigerian dwarfs, and I know they do eat their goats. So it's worth it raising some if that's the area you want to go in. But if you have a good market for them, then obviously you wouldn't have to sell them, or you wouldn't have to eat them. You could sell them. Getting tongue-tied again. Kate, do you have goats? You have a question. Hey, when we butcher one, we'll have to get together and you can try it. I have nothing against raising, only things for for dairy or pure enjoyment too. There's a lot of people who that's what they do, and there's nothing wrong with it. We just want to try and be healthy and step away from grocery stores and things. Don't come in here. You don't even have a shirt on. My big boy is out of school today. And I don't know. I was raised in this sort of thing. Like, we raised what we ate a lot of times. I showed pigs in school in 4-H and FFA. And so I spent 6 months, twice a day minimum, days and days and days and days and days with these animals for them to eventually go to the butcher. So it's not something that's foreign to me. It's not something that's foreign to my children because they've always been here. We've always done it. Wyatt loves chickens. That's his spirit animal, is a chicken, I swear. He carries them around. He makes pets out of them. But he's also right there with us when we butcher meat birds or any chickens. We've butchered a bunch of farm roosters, and he's always right there with us, which is pretty profound when you think about a 9-year-old that will take a live chicken to totally cleaned out and put it in the ice chest. He can do the whole process. Yes, Kate has become a good little friend of mine with her support. And hopefully we will have our giveaway decided on. Me and Matt's been talking about it. I got to order stickers soon. And when I order my stickers, then I'll announce my giveaway because I will probably make the shirt. And I will gladly share some with you if you really want to try it. I'm all about helping people out. Now, there is a butcher in Morris or Oldmulgee, I can't remember. And you can go and, like, they have animals on site. You pick the animal, they kill it and package it all in one day. And who knows? I thought about doing that. I think it runs about $350 an animal, though, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And which I feel like there's a lot of people that are blessed to have that disconnect from it, because it's not a have to thing. It's a want to thing for a lot of people. But in our thing, like when me and Matt first decided we wanted to move out here on 40 acres and have livestock, it was well, how can we make this make sense? So we can either lease property or whatever, lease our property out or whatever. But what made the most sense for us was to have a garden and to raise all of our own protein, which that is my goal. My 2021 goal is there will be no protein that is bought, except for buying the animal itself. But anyway, raising it here. I didn't see where you... Huh. Well, prayers for your medical issues, dear. I think a container garden... Ooh, okay. It just came to me because I saw it the other day on Facebook. 55-gallon barrels, cut in half, turn them open side up, and they're on legs, and you can grow just about anything in them. They're still, I don't know, over a foot deep, and there you go. It's cheap, and they're easy ones. Who knows? It just came to me. Had an email. But I remember seeing it, and I was thinking I needed to share it with somebody, so I did write it down. It's in my notebook somewhere. But yeah, there you go. We've got all kinds of ideas. If I was closer, I would come and help you out a bunch if I could. But I'm not, like, it's kind of a far drive with 2 kids and the husband to leave him at home. And he's not going to milk a goat. He's already told me he's not milking the goat. But that's okay. I feel blessed anyways. He lets me live vicariously. I guess, something like that. He lets me live a crazy life, that's for sure. I get to be a stay-at-home mom and raise goats. All right, so LG Homestead, I have a question. I like banana peppers also. This year, I'm actually not growing any, though. I'm going to try. I have 6 varieties of peppers growing, and I have 4 that are sweet peppers that I've never grown before. So we're going to try them. Do you have chickens? Because if you have chickens or an incubator, or you want chickens, I can hook you up with some Banny chicken eggs because I got a ton of Banny chicken eggs. I'm probably going to start hatching soon. And, but I was just wondering, curious if you have chickens too. I need to watch your stuff. I'm going to write it down. Look there. Real big, so I don't forget. If you would like some Banny eggs, we might have to get together sometime. And so you can, yeah, from Bantam hens. Mine are like little Old English chickens. They're tiny. And I have a rooster I need to give away soon. But if you're interested in some hatching eggs, I will. Actually, I'm going to do you one better. Maybe. Let's go. I will share your link on here. And then Kate can pick you up too, because the dumbest thing that I have 3 roosters and 2 hens. So, and they lay every day. The dumbest thing that YouTube did was they took the ability to click on somebody's name and go to their channel out of it. So I'm going to share your link. That way, anybody. I'm already subscribed. How about that? That's pretty awesome. There you go. There is the link to LG Homestead. And I will get some eggs to you. If you want some large chicken eggs, I got a bunch of them too, but I'm sure you're good on that. But yeah, I'll get you some Banny chicken eggs. I'm going to set what I have in the house, and then I'll start putting up for the next, I don't know. Do you have a, I'm sure we did, because I watch a lot of Ridge Life stuff. Here lately, I haven't been commenting. I usually just have it playing because I'm cooking or I'm doing something, and his comes on when I milk my goat, so I go out with it on my phone and listen, but obviously I can't comment while I milk the goat. Thank you, Kate. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Another Oklahoma homesteader. Might as well. There's a bunch of us. We're like our own little fan club, huh? There's a bunch of us. I think I can drive for an hour and reach 3 or 4 of them. Pretty neat. Yeah, Paragon Ridge Ranch come out. Chrissy, she brought her boys down. I took them fishing down here, and they got to hang out. She did a little video montage of our stuff, and I really enjoyed it. Chrissy is amazing. She's such a sweetheart. And ironically, my 2 Kiko does that are out there, I bought them from pretty much her neighbor. Awesome. I'm glad that you support Chrissy too. I really like Chrissy. We need to reciprocate. I need to go to her house one of these days soon and let the boys hang out. Wyatt, he had so much fun. He just absolutely adores Preston and getting to fish with him, and that boy there can fish. My cat. This is Mittens. She likes to hug and rub on my face. Her whiskers are tickling the crap out of my face, and it bothers me. She also likes to be held like a baby. She's a hugger. But yeah, pretty awesome, pretty awesome. It will be fun. And if we can get together, I'm not sure the area. Tell you what, do you have your email? Thank you. This is what happens when you work at a vet's office and somebody leaves kittens in a box. I was like, but I have to have it. She's so pretty. And here she is. My only girl. I got everything else is pretty much boys. Let me look. Okay. You have your email listed on there, LG Homestead, and there we go. I don't know what's wrong with it. I will send you an email probably today, and we'll see if we can get together sometime, and I'll make sure I plan it where I can have 7 days of eggs to give you, so should be close to 2 dozen, if not 2 dozen. And then you get some Banny eggs, which I'll take a picture of those kids and show you what they look like out there. Yeah. She likes to pet you too. She touches you with her paw. She's been like this like from the get-go. She's a brat. She's really spoiled. But we're at 1 hour and 5 minutes, guys. I think I'm going to go ahead and sign off on here. See, He said, thank you. You're so welcome, because homesteading is about being good to people. I personally, my homesteading journey is to share. So share I will. I don't usually sell much. I sell the goats, obviously, but it's usually it. Everything else, my eggs I like to share with my neighbors and my relatives. Same thing with the stuff out of my garden. And in fact, I grow things that I don't eat just to share them, because I know there's people who do like them. But yeah, we're at an hour and 5 minutes. It was a little slow at first, but it's pretty great. I so appreciate you guys who's been here today. Kate, and I'll have to find out your name, LG Homestead. I know I've watched some of your videos, but I have not. I guess I just don't retain your name, but it's all right. But anyway, guys, thank you for being here and supporting us. We will see you all soon. I should have a video out tomorrow. God bless. Y'all have a great day. Bye.